Hey everyone, it's Claire, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys all about the fearful avoidant attachment style. And the reason that I find this important is because a lot of times people who have been abused or neglected in childhood may often develop this type of attachment in adulthood. The least common and the most difficult to work through, which is the fearful avoidant. And the fearful avoidant is actually a combination of the anxious attachment and the avoidant attachment. My name is Claire, and while you're here, go ahead, like this video and subscribe for more, and let's get right into it. This is also the attachment style that I have had, and it has taken a long time to work through and to be able to heal for the most part. The first thing to know about the fearful avoidant attachment style is that it is a combination of anxious attachment and the avoidant attachment. So what that means is you will most likely have traits of both of these types of insecure attachment styles that are going to make relationships very difficult. So for example, someone with the fearful avoidant attachment style, during your upbringing, you were probably faced with abusive parents or caregivers, chaotic family life. There may have been fighting, yelling, physical or emotional abuse. There may have also been extreme neglect to where your needs were not being met, your basic survival needs. And so you had to really push and crave and seek that bond, even with perhaps dangerous or chaotic, or you didn't know how they were going to react, but you had to secure that bond in order to survive. You felt unsafe. You felt afraid for your physical safety. You may have been afraid of being abandoned and obviously not being able to survive, or you may have been afraid of getting physically abused, or you may have been afraid of your caregivers in some way. Perhaps they were yelling at you, perhaps you were witnessing yelling between them, the family life was chaotic, you just did not feel safe. However, the fact that you were young and the fact that you needed your parents or caregivers in order to survive means that you needed that bond. Because if you were to completely detach, you would not survive. You were so young, you couldn't survive on your own at that point. So you developed the attempts to bond with them and that need to bond. And that is where you get your anxious portion of your personality, because you have that anxious need. As you may know, the anxious attachment style is fueled by needing to get that bond. They feel like they're not able to be alone. They feel unfulfilled, unsafe when they're alone. They have this deep void where they need to connect. They want those deep relationships. They want the bond. They want the safety of the bond. However, simply an anxious attached person will feel safe once they are in that bond, most likely. Once they're getting that attention and once they are receiving the love that they crave, they will most likely feel safe. Where the fearful avoidant, once they get the bond, so as a fearful avoidant, you may be able to relate to this. Once you secure that bond and the other person starts moving towards you and starts giving you attention or wanting to communicate, wanting to bond with you, you feel afraid and your alerts go off and you feel, this is unsafe, I cannot bond any further, I cannot be any closer, and I am actually going to have to push this person away now because it's for my own safety. And this is also because as a child, you bonded because you needed to get your needs met, but then you also were afraid that you couldn't really trust your caregivers because you never knew when there would be something that they would do that would break your trust again, and you didn't want to get hurt, but you needed it. So there's this constant push-pull of I need and I want closeness, but I also am afraid I can't get too close because they're going to hurt me. And so in adulthood, the same thing happens. Then you're saying, oh, I really want this bond, I really want this closeness, but oh no, once they get to a certain point, then I don't feel safe. I'm gonna push them away because this is too close for comfort and I do not want to get hurt. And you're basically being triggered by your past. In addition to this, a fearful avoidant often will follow and get into abusive relationships and abusive dynamics as an adult, similar to what they experienced in childhood. So you're going to be fulfilling or recreating that same dynamic that you had in childhood, where you actually aren't safe. You actually crave the bond, but then you also do not have that safety. And so it's really hard for a fearful avoidant to heal when they are constantly going back into these abusive situations. And they actually aren't able to trust the other person, or perhaps their confusing type behavior triggers the worst in other people as well, and then the dynamic just becomes overall awful. And so now you can see where the anxious portion and the avoidant portion come together to create that fearful avoidant, which is also known as anxious avoidant. The fearful avoidant is avoiding others, not simply because they don't want to or because they feel independent and whatnot. It's because they do not feel safe, and they feel afraid, and they feel like they're going to be hurt, whether emotionally, physically, all sorts of different possibilities there. So that's the difference there. Another aspect of the fearful avoidant attachment style is that you most likely will be suffering from a low self-esteem, where you most likely have learned, and this is something that I have had to work through and do a lot of healing on. You may have learned that you were unworthy of care, that you deserved to be abused or neglected, that your needs did not deserve to be met, and therefore you developed a low self-esteem. As a child, it's easy to blame yourself and to think, oh, this is happening to me because I deserve it, because I am bad, because I am not a good child. Then you take those deep beliefs that are not serving you into adulthood. And so if you're fearful avoidant, you may most likely have that low self-esteem where you think, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I deserve to be treated badly, I don't deserve respect, things like that in your adulthood that are causing you to also go into relationships that treat you like that, because you don't feel comfortable getting any more or any better than being treated the same way that you think you deserve to be treated. So if you say, oh, I don't deserve respect, I deserve to be abused, this is just because I'm a bad person, or I don't deserve good relationships, then you're going to be drawn into the toxic relationships that will fulfill that belief system and treat you badly and abuse you and all sorts of things. Your needs won't be met. You'll be feeling unsafe, similar to childhood. And so that's a really important thing for the fearful avoidant to heal as well, is, which I have videos on this on my channel, I will link below, is to heal your past and heal your belief system and be able to see that you are worthy and you do deserve better, and you don't deserve to be in abusive or toxic situations. Another aspect of the fearful avoidant personality, this, you can end up seeing this as a gift, but perhaps now if you are still in a lot of pain and you have a lot of deep insecurities and issues, it might be something that's getting in your way. And that is that you are able to really you have a heightened awareness of how other people are feeling, of how other people might react to you. You have a heightened ability to foresee possible issues and possible things that are going to cause drama. As a child, you had to heighten your empathy for others, and you had to heighten your awareness of how others are feeling. So how's my caretaker feeling today? Are they feeling good? How can I act today? What do I have to do in this moment to make them happy? So you might have developed some people-pleasing behaviors, and the people-pleasing behavior right now, it's definitely not healthy, because you don't want to be adapting to everyone else to cater to them and their needs and what they want in any given moment. However, once you heal and learn and grow, you will realize that even without the people-pleasing portion, you still have the heightened empathy. So you can still see what other people might need or how they may be feeling. And in a healthier situation, the more you heal, the more you will be able to help others from a place of strength and love rather than of need. So at this point, you have adapted this empathy and this heightened awareness for physical safety because you had to know, am I going to be safe today? And you had to be able to adapt to your caregivers. And so today, just take a look and see if you are a people pleaser. Are you adapting and carefully looking out to see what you have to do to make someone happy? Are you walking on eggshells around others so that you feel safe? Are you catering to and behaving in a certain way to make others comfortable instead of making yourself comfortable? And once you can heal and learn to trust yourselves and be in situations that you can trust others with people who are trustworthy, you will be able to get rid of that people pleasing, but still keep the gift of the heightened awareness and the empathy. And I will be making other videos on the other attachment styles as well, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys in my next video. And remember, as always, you are so powerful. Bye, guys.